you think you're in labour and you're going to ring up and we're going to ask you to come to labour ward. So when you come in, you're going to come through this front door here, and this is exactly where you need to come to. You'll see lots of hand sanitisation points, so just use that as you go around unless you've got a skin sensitivity. We're going to start with the pool room, okay? Come and spread out right to the bottom of the pool. So come and stand right round the sides and come and see, this is our pool room. This is our standalone pool. It's obviously a bit bigger than the inflatable. It's sterilised and cleaned after every single use, every single day, regardless of whether it's been used or not. And we have gas and air plumbed into the walls, so that if you wanted to use gas and air during the time in the pool, that's available straight away. The water's set at a set temperature, so I'm just going to put that on so you can feel how warm it gets. We would always recommend things like mobility, keeping active, upright, eating and drinking, keeping as healthy and normal as you can, but if it's not one of your choices, then that's absolutely fine. This is one of our 5 delivery rooms. What do we notice when we first come in this room? What do we think?
Big room.
It's a big room, it is. They're really, really big, decent sized rooms. Anything else we're noticing?
There's a lot of plugs.
There is a lot of plugs. There's a lot of equipment. Yeah, there is. So it's a big room. The main feature in this room tends to be the bed, but it's on wheels, so we can push it out the way if you wanted to use the whole space, or if you wanted to use an inflatable pool, or if you just wanted a bit of space to move around, the bed can move, okay? So there's lots of different equipment in here that I'll talk you through about why we have it in here. So first of all, the bed. We can put supports in the bed to help your legs be stabilised if we needed to, and it goes up and down and the head sits up a little bit, so that if you wanted to get in a comfier position, it's easily doable, okay? Moving on, when I talked about the monitoring for the baby, the little transducers that we use, this is one of our monitors that we use. So your baby's heart rate will be up here on a little screen, and it will print out a little graph that will monitor your baby's heart rate on. Okay, so that's one of the monitors. This is called a resuscitaire, but in easier terms, it's basically a light, a heat, and somewhere clean for your baby. So as you can imagine, when you give birth, sometimes there's some blood loss and a bit of waters. So we want somewhere dry, warm, clean, with a really good light that we could have ready for the baby if we need it. Most of the time the baby comes right up on skin to skin, or is cuddled by dad, or is skin to skin with dad. It does have oxygen on it, so if the baby was struggling a little bit at birth, or there was any complications for any reason, we do have availability of oxygen on here to help baby. But most of the rooms have CD players or radio players, so if you wanted some music on in the background while you're having your baby, or just a bit of a distraction, we'll hopefully get the CD players or just the radio. Like I say, we've got one pillow, so make sure you bring your extra pillows for your comfort. So when it's 4 o'clock in the morning and Dad needs a little nap, this is where he'll go. But this area is where you can just sit and put your bags, things like that. And it just means you're not sort of bags all over the room, or there's somewhere for Dad to sit. But most of the time he will be hand holding or rubbing your back. He won't be sat snoring in the corner.
What are the rules for how many people you can have in here?
Have with you. We advise that 2 people at any time can be with you, so 2 birth partners. Most people would say like husband, baby's dad, friend, mum, sister, support person. Once the baby's born, we don't mind visiting, but you just need to let us know who's coming and when, otherwise it can get really busy. So don't worry too much if you feel that a lot of people are in your room. Everyone has their own little role, and you will be explained who's there and why they're there. Okay. So it can be quite quickly that things change, so we could press a buzzer and lots of people come in, but everybody's got their own little role as to why they're in.
How long does it normally take them to get home, kind of thing?
What, from here?
After the birth.
After the birth. So you can go home straight from labour ward.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do that, you just need to let the midwife know that's your plan. And as long as everything's normal, you can usually go home within 6 hours of giving birth. Okay? If you're staying in hospital for any reason, we'd take you up to the ward, and then it's sort of 24 hours to a couple of days you'd stay. Okay, so what do you notice when you come out those lift doors?
Boiling.
It's hot. It is hot up here. Why is it hot? For the babies. We need to keep those babies really nice and snug and warm, even though we're all really, really warm, okay? So they don't adapt straight away to being in a cool environment, so that's why it gets warmer the more you go around. So just in case, for any reason, if your baby goes to the neonatal unit, we hope it won't, but if it did for any reason, it's just the other side of those double doors there. So you're really close to your baby when you're on the ward. You're literally just a corridor away. So the single rooms are sort of either side of the corridor.
I think it's really worth coming. So like when you come on the day, you're not all panicking and stuff. Yeah, it's really worth doing, I would think. Yeah, and thanks to.
What was your favourite part of the tour?
Just so you wasn't surprised really when you got here, and it's really worth doing. Really.
Quite a stressful time when you're coming in, maybe.
Yeah, I mean you might be panicking already, so you know it's just familiarise yourself with it a bit in it. So.